Noli me tangere.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Joseph Missy Bañod. Learning objectives. At the end of the presentation, the student shall be able to first analyze the impact of Noli me tangere on Philippines society during the Spanish period. Second, appreciate the role of Noli me tangere in awakening Filipino nationalism. And lastly, value the importance of literature as a tool for social awareness and reform. The Noli Me Tangere was Rizal's first novel which tackled the society and government in the Philippines during the Spanish colonization. He used cancer as the metaphor of the Philippine society since, like cancer, the sickness of our society was untouched, growing to be chronic malady and incurable. In his novel, he discussed how the friars deceived the Filipinos and made them blindly believe in the practice of religion. Noli Me Tangere is Jose Rizal's first novel that exposes the social injustices, abuses, and corruption in the Philippines during the Spanish colonization. He used San Diego as the epitome of the Philippines. The events in San Diego were based on his observation in political situation and society in our country. And also there were influences of the books that he had read while he was in Europe, like the book of Harriet Beecher Stowe entitled Uncle Tom's Cabin, which described the abuses experienced by the Africans under their American masters, and the book written by Eugene Sue entitled The Wandering Jew. So Rizal used San Diego as a symbol of the Philippines to show the real conditions of society. The novel was inspired by Rizal's observations and by books he read in Europe, such as The Uncle Tom's Cabin and The Wandering Jew, which also depicted oppression and suffering. That's all. Thank you.
These are the characters of the novel Noli Me Tangere. 1. Juan Crisostomo Ibarra. He was the main character in the novel. A gentleman who studied in Europe, full of idealism and dreamed to contribute change society by the establishment of a school. He was the son of Don Rafael Ibarra and the lover of Maria Clara. 2. Don Rafael Ibarra. He was the father of Crisostomo, a person who belonged to the high part of society but had a heart for the poor. 3. Elias. He was a rebel in the novel. He became friends with Crisostomo when the latter saved him from the crocodile who attacked them. He symbolizes the less fortunate Filipinos who thought that uprising could be a means in ending their poverty and abuse in the society. 4. Maria Clara. She was the girlfriend of Crisostomo. She symbolized a Filipina who came from a good education, modest, faithful, reserved, and conservative. 5. Sisa, the mother of Crispin and Basilio. She came from a rich family and married a man who engaged in gambling. 6. Capitan Tiago. He was Don Anastasio de los Santos and one of the richest men in San Diego. He was known as the father of Maria Clara, and his house was often venue for gatherings in the town. 7. Padre Damaso. He had the head of priest of San Diego for 20 years. He was a former friend of Don Rafael Ibarra and the real father of Maria Clara. He was envious, greedy, and he would use his power to get what he wanted. He symbolized the abusive leaders of the church and society. 8. Doña Victorina. She was the wife of Don Tiburcio de Espadanya, a doctor. She was a social climber and dreamed to be part of the upper society. She symbolized the Filipinos who would give up their principles and identities as a Filipino just to be part of the higher society. 9. Doña Patrocino. She had an illicit love affair with Alferez. Although she had bad attitudes and habits, she wanted to hide it by being a prayerful. She symbolized the Filipino who always prayed and joined activities in the church just to hide her bad attitudes. 10. Pilosopo Tasio. He was considered insane in the novel because of his intelligence and his assertiveness in speaking his mind. However, Crisostomo Ibarra often referred to him for truth and knowledge. He symbolized a Filipino who was intelligent and spoke for his principles.
Summary of the novel. Don Crisostomo Ibarra returned to San Diego after his stay in Europe for his studies. He learned about the death of his father because of sickness inside the prison. He attended a dinner in the house of Don Tiago to see his girlfriend, Maria Clara, but in the same place he also saw Padre Damaso, who had negative remarks about him because he practiced the behavior that he learned from Europe. The knowledge about the misfortune of his father led him to seek justice, and next day he was able to talk to Maria Clara and renew their relationship after their conversation. On his travel to different part of San Diego, he met Pilosopo Tasio, with whom he had a conversation about the school that he wanted to build for the reform of the society. The friends of Crisostomo and Maria Clara had a picnic in the river. While riding in a boat, a crocodile attacked the group. Elias dove in the water, but the crocodile overpowered him, so Crisostomo also dived in the water and saved Elias. The search for justice and his good intention of building school for the poor led Padre Damaso to hate Crisostomo, so he always delivered negative comments and criticism to Crisostomo during his homily. The people had an uprising against the government, but it was not successful, and Crisostomo was accused to be the leader of the said uprising. Elias helped him to escape, and before they left, they went to the house of Maria Clara. Unfortunately, the Guardia Civil knew that they were there, so after bidding goodbye to Maria Clara, the two jumped to the water to escape.
I'm the next reporter. The result of No Limit Tangere. No Limit Tangere was published with the financial help of Dr. Maximo Viola, who lent Jose Rizal 200 pesos, originally meant for food expenses. The novel received praise from Rizal's friends and scholars. Ferdinand Blumenright admired it for being heartfelt, well-written, and enlightening for Filipinos. Padre Francisco Sanchez commented Rizal's literary skill and defended the novel, though he suggested including positive portrayals of race. Antonio Regidor compared the novel favorably to Don Cujito, while Padre Vicente Garcia defended it as a work based on real observation in Philippine society. Despite the support, many parishes strongly criticized the novel. They pushed for its censorship, claiming it was anti-church. As a result, authorities banned No Limit Tangere and ordered the imprisonment of those found possessing copies. Thank you.